Hello, good afternoon, good morning, good evening to you, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Don. I'm here on the product team at Teachable, and I am very happy to welcome you to our live event, Unlock the New Student Experience. While we're getting started, I already see some of you letting us know where you're calling in from. Thank you. Where are you joining us from today? I personally am in Michigan, the great state of Michigan, just outside Ann Arbor. Hello, hello. Hi, Barbara in Ontario, Suzanne in Tampa Bay, Amy in Connecticut, Giorgio in Italy. Welcome, welcome. Alabama, New York, England, Brazil, Spain. Lovely to see you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Great. And what are folks reading these days? Any favorite newsletters? Any favorite books, summer reads? Anything interesting going on? There's a newsletter I've enjoyed recently. It's called The Honest Broker by Ted Gioia on Substack. Super fascinating, goes into music, tech, culture, all sorts of cool stuff. Would love any recommendations for other newsletters or books y'all are reading. Just going to give it another half a minute or so and let some more folks join. Awesome. Hacking narcissism. Thank you, Suzanne. 10x is better than 2x. Okay. Discipline is a destiny. Such truth right there. Thank you, Chris. All right, so to get us started, I'm going to start with just a few housekeeping items, some logistics for us. First of all, looks like you're already in there, so please do add your comments and questions in this comment section. As we get to the end, we're going to have a live Q&A. Drop your questions in here as we go, just so you don't forget. We can come back and try to get to as many of those as possible. Yes, this is being recorded and you will be sent a replay after this event. So keep an eye on your email. You'll be receiving an email, should be later this afternoon, with a link to watch the recording of this very webinar. Also, while we're getting set up, we've got just a couple questions, some interactive questions for you. So if you have a chance, please head over to Slido, slido.com, and then enter in this passcode 3783993. That'll let you help us answer some questions that helps us tailor this event for you. And if you haven't already, and if you're streaming to us or watching on our YouTube channel, please hit subscribe. I have the pleasure of introducing our speakers today. Again, my name is Don. I work on the product marketing team here at Teachable, been here a few years. Paulina is a senior product manager here at Teachable, and Jonathan is a senior product designer here at Teachable. So you're going to hear from all of us a little bit about how you can unlock the new student experience. So today, we're actually going to cover a few different things. We're going to start with the student experience and actually how you can preview that student experience. And then we're going to talk a little bit about some of the tooling that we've built right out of the box that helps deliver a seamless learning journey for your students. And we also are going to show you a few ways that you can customize that student experience. We know that that's very important and it looks a little bit different for your different brands, your different businesses. So we're going to show you how you can do that directly in the Teachable platform. And then we're going to share a little bit more about what's ahead. And in particular, stay on until the end, because we're going to share how you can get early access to a brand new surface here on the Teachable platform to deliver an even more powerful student experience. Once we go through all of that, we will have a live Q&A. So again, drop your questions here in the comments and we'll try to capture as many of those as we go. We're absolutely excited for those questions and comments. So please let us know what you think, what questions you have, what might be helpful to you as we continue to develop and roll some of this out. But first, I have a question for you. So let's hop over to Slido, if you would. And I'm very curious to just hear from you. How familiar are you with what your students see? Not at all familiar, slightly familiar, somewhat familiar, moderately familiar, very familiar. This is great. Keep dropping those questions or those answers in. All right. Let's give it a little bit longer. I'd love to get a few more responses in here. Again, you can see in the comments here, you can join this Slido from the link in the comments, and there's that access code there for you as well. Okay. So I see about a third of you who've responded so far are very familiar, which is great. We hear regularly that many of you who come to Teachable come because you were a student of someone else's course first and you just had a great experience as a student. And we know that the student experience is very important. That's what you are looking to deliver is a delightful, powerful learning experience that transforms them, that provides them that value that you have and that you can offer. What we also know is that not everyone is familiar with all the different ways that the students experience your course on the platform. So none of this is very surprising, but this is very helpful for us to see here that some of you are very familiar and some of you maybe only slightly familiar. That's okay, because today we are going to show you different ways that you can preview different elements of your Teachable school. So great. Thank you. Thank you for responding here. Jump back over to our presentation. So first topic for today, we are going to talk about the student experience and in particular, how you can preview different parts of your Teachable school. So first of all, we're going to start with the learning content, what your students see. So if you aren't already familiar with this, you can absolutely preview what your students see. I always love to start with the learning content because folks often jump right into making a course, and that's what you're here to deliver, and that's what you want to see. So I've got a couple shots here from within one of my Teachable schools here. I'm right here in the curriculum. So I've chosen a course, and I'm looking at the curriculum. You see at the top right, you've got a preview. You click that preview and that will open up a tab here that shows you what your students will see. So you can see this thumbnail image here. You can see the section and how many lessons are in that section. This is what your students are going to see right here. One of the reasons it's helpful to preview it, not just to see what your students will actually experience, but it's kind of a good way to anticipate any questions or like, is there anything missing? Or maybe I thought this would show up a little bit differently. So strongly recommend as you go, as you're developing your lesson content, as you're building out your course, just take a quick preview. Now, in addition, you can also see what your students see when they come to your school. And in fact, you can control that. You can set different landing pages. So there's a couple things I want to point out here. When you log in to Teachable, you will often start right here on your dashboard. Up at the top right, there is a place where you can view your school. That will take you directly to the homepage that you have set for your school. There's a couple other places you can do that. One of those places, if you go in your left navigation to Site, and then click on Navigation, that will take you to this navigation page. From here, you can actually control the landing page or the page that a student will come to when they go to your web address. And in fact, you can set both a logged out page and a logged in page. So if a student is already logged in, that'll take them to one particular page. And if you really want them at that one spot, you can take them there. But if you've got a different place that you want folks who come to your school, you could set, for example, your school homepage. You could set a particular custom sales page that you've built or a custom URL. You've got some options there. Either way, you see you've also got a preview button here. So you can preview and check exactly what your students are going to see, what your audience will see when they come to your school here on Teachable. A little bit later today, we're also going to show you how to manage that. So if it felt like that went a little fast, fear not, we'll cover the steps to take a look at that a little bit later today. From here, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague Paulina to tell you a little bit about some of the out-of-the-box tooling we have.
Hey everybody, my name is Paulina. I see some familiar names, so it's nice to see you all. So today I'm going to be talking about the new student experience on Teachable. So this is a page that you all are probably familiar with. We released it earlier this year. It's a whole new product catalog, also known as the Browse Products page. The goal of this page is to make it really easy to explore all of your offerings within your school. So it's a really easy way for your students to see all of your different learning products within your school, anything from courses to coaching to bundles, etc. We worked really hard to make it look really modern and make it really clear what state each product card is in. So it's clear to your students, you know, this is a product that is in progress. This is something that I finished. This is something that looks really interesting that I haven't purchased quite yet and I want to learn more about. So Dawn alluded to this new page earlier in the webinar, but we're really excited to be releasing this new learning surface. We've personalized this page so it helps show students what to do next. It's really personalized to their learning journey. So there's different sections within this page that will dynamically display depending on what the student is enrolled in and their progress within those products. So I'm going to go in depth with that next with the demo. Alrighty. Dawn, do you mind showing my screen? Okay, perfect. So today I'm going to be demoing from Teachable U. So this is our free hub full of quick creator-focused lessons to help you get the most out of Teachable. I'm signed in as a student, and as you can see, I'm not enrolled in any courses. So the only section that appears for me is this explore additional products. So it's prompting me to check out things within this school. So I'm actually going to go ahead and enroll in this co-pilot onboarding course. So now that I'm enrolled, if I come back to this page, you'll notice that my library is now populated with this course. I'm actually going to make a little bit of progress within this course to show you how this page will continue to change. So I'm clicking into this course and I'm just going to complete. Oh, what happened here? Sorry, we're doing this live. All right. So I'm just going to complete a couple of lessons so that I have some progress on this course. So heading back, you'll notice that this course is no longer in the My Library section. It's moved into Jump Back In. So I can see that I've made some progress here, and we have a button here that's going to encourage me to continue this course to finish it out. I'm going to do a little bit of movie magic to enroll in some additional products to show you how this page will continue to change. So give me just a minute. Alrighty, I'm going to refresh this page. Alrighty, so as you can tell, I've enrolled in a lot of products just to show you how this page changes. So if I scroll down, you can see that the jump back in section is fully populated now. So we have a bunch of different courses here. It's ordered by course progress. We also have easy ways to go to the Browse Products page filtered by progress. So if the course that I want to resume isn't on this list, I can easily find it. Next up, I have my library. So this is going to contain all of my courses and other products that I'm enrolled in, but I haven't made any progress on. The third section is for your completed courses. So we actually found that a lot of students tend to revisit their completed courses. I think that a lot of courses contain things like daily affirmations or videos that students just find a lot of value in and like to revisit. And then last but not least, once your students have gone through all of the products they've already purchased, we always have this explore additional products to help them discover what else your school offers. And this is in the process of being rolled out. So if you are interested, we will be giving you a link to sign up. Alrighty, Don, I think we can go back to the slides. And before I end my section, I just wanted to share share what we've seen so far with the new product catalog that we've rolled out. We've seen that students are learning more and they're learning a lot faster with the new product catalog. It's been about 17% more students actually navigating to a lesson from that page. And then we're also seeing that they're getting there 55% faster compared to the old experience. We're also seeing that students are 21% more likely to return after 13 days, which gives you more chances to re-engage and build long-term learning habits. And that's it for my section, so I'm going to hand it over to Jonathan.
Hello, thanks, Polina. So hi, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I'm a product designer here at Teachable. I'm going to go through a bit about how you can customize your student experience for your brand and your business goals. So I'm going to talk through a few simple ways we can do that, and then I'll give a live demo of what that looks like in Teachable Admin. All right, so the first thing is color. It's really important to customize your theme colors to apply reinforce your identity and build trust in a consistent brand. And that consistent palette helps your school feel polished and professional. And a tip here is that you want to make sure you use high contrast combinations to ensure accessibility and readability. So with your navigation bar, you want to have the navigation bar links have high contrast with the background color that you choose, and that button and link color that you choose, you want to make sure it has contrast with the color white so that the text is easily read on those buttons. Another simple way that you can customize your experience is setting the right homepage. So Don talked about this a bit earlier. We give you options to basically set your students up for success by customizing what they see first. So for logged out students, you could have it on a Teachable page. It could go directly to your product catalog if you just want students to be able to browse products before they buy. Or you can actually send to an external site. If you built a website on Webflow or Squarespace or something like that, that can actually be your logged out home on Teachable. We also give you logged in options, although we highly recommend to use the new student experience because like Polina just mentioned, it's really driving engagement and helping your students pick up where they left off. And finally, you can change the language. So you can offer a polished experience in the language that your students speak so that all the content you've created, if it's in a specific language, the rest of the interface can match that throughout the experience. We just released this new feature of one-click translations for 3 languages, which are Spanish, Portuguese, Brazilian Portuguese, and French. And you can also use custom text to manually translate everything else. So our one-click translations apply to our newest pages on the platform, but we also have options to translate the rest of the experience as well. So question in chat. What other languages should we add? We just added these 3. We're going to continue adding languages over the coming months. So if there's a language you'd really like us to add, definitely let us know. in the chat here. Italian, awesome. All right, yeah, keep sending those languages, and I'm actually going to demo what it looks like to do these customizations on our platform. So if we can switch to my screen here. Awesome. All right, so what you're seeing right now is the homepage that you would see for a fairly new school. I'm actually pretending to be Polina today, and we're in this school about travel that's in Portuguese. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is customize the colors of it. If I go and preview the school here in the top right corner, you can see now, like, I've uploaded my logo, but the rest of it's just using default colors and things like that that don't really match my brand. So in the Teachable admin on the left here, I'm going to go to the site. So the site section has lots of customizations for your student experience, your web pages on the platform, basically anything a student or a prospective student might see. It lands us right here on the theme page, and this is where I'm going to customize the font and color. So you can see from the logo that I'm going for kind of this like traditional paper map vibe. So I'm actually going to choose a serif font, Palatino, to kind of fit in with that style. So you can see a preview of what that text looks like here. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then for my color palette, I'm going to keep going with that kind of old used map vibe. So I'm going to have kind of this tan color for the background of my nav bar. For the links, again, I want to make sure I have a high contrast color, so I don't want to use white here anymore. I'm going to do a black color. And finally, I want a pop-up color for my buttons and links so they really shine and give a little bit more of interest to the design. I'm just going to add this bold purple color here, which again is dark enough to contrast with the color white so that the text on those buttons will be easily readable. All right, so let me go ahead and save these changes, go back to my preview, and wow, you can see just a couple of small changes really changed the vibe of my student experience and now kind of feels more cohesive with the brand I'm going for. Next, let's talk about the default pages. So here on the navigation page, which I just navigated to on the left, we have these options for logged out and logged in home pages. Like I mentioned, it says course directory here, but this is actually going to be the new student dashboard that we're currently rolling out. So we highly recommend you keep this because of the really great improvements we're seeing to student behavior and accessing their courses. So don't really want to change that. But if you did have maybe just a single course and you wanted to just have this go to that course page or something like that, that's still an option for you. For logged out, again, it kind of depends on your setup. So if you just want the Teachable URL to be a place for students to browse all of the products you have on Teachable, the course directory or the Browse Products page is a great place for that. But you also could do a home page, which is a customized student homepage, or sorry, Teachable homepage that you can make sense for your brand and your school. Or you can even do a custom URL and link to, like I said, like a Webflow page, a Squarespace page, anything like that. And then finally, we have the language and text. So here's where we have the new one-click translation. So my school is in Portuguese, but right now, if we look at it, we see a lot of English things, right? So the content I created for those courses is all in Portuguese, but the rest of the interface the students are seeing is in English. So let's go ahead and change that. This option here in this drop-down, I'm instead going to choose Portuguese and go ahead and save that. And now when I refresh this page, amazing, everything's in Portuguese instead. So now we have a super cohesive experience where the language for throughout the interface matches my content that I've created. All right, and that's what I've got for the demo. I'll pass it back to Dawn to talk a little bit more about what's coming next.
Thank you, Jonathan. All right, so we just saw a few ways that you can customize your school, in particular, changing the languages with our new one-click translations, setting the homepage, and of course, changing some of the colors to match your brand. Paulina also shared this new student surface, this new student-facing surface within the platform. So I want to share a little bit about how that's going to evolve. So what you saw, what Paulina shared was how that new surface dynamically and automatically changes as a student sort of progresses through their journey. So if they've got a course that they're in progress, they'll see that right up there at the top. It'll encourage them to jump right back in. If they've purchased other courses or other products, it'll show there in My Library. If there are additional products that your school has that they aren't enrolled in, it will show those as well. But that's just the beginning, actually. There's a couple more additions that we are working on over the next couple months that will make this new service even more powerful. And there's two that I want to call your attention to. The first here is at the top of this screen right here. This is a banner. This is like a hero banner. Think of like the hero section at the top of your website. With this, you'll be able to create any variety of different calls to actions or particular promotions or spotlight launches that you have coming up. Really anything that you want. We are working to develop a truly flexible surface that you can customize to create this particular experience for your students. The other thing that we are working on are developing a section of external links. So over here on the side of this surface, you'd be able to curate a list of links that connect your students to your broader ecosystem. So maybe you have a community somewhere, maybe you offer a coaching program somewhere else, or you've got some live webinars, for example. Or maybe there's a newsletter that you also run, or a colleague's newsletter. These are all things that you might be able to surface directly right here on this new page. So with all of that, I've actually got another question for you. Let's jump back into Slido. I'm curious to hear, what would you call this page? Jump back into Slido. Again, that's slido.com, and that's 3783993. Drop that in the chat here. Great, already seeing some good answers. Homepage, student landing page, student dashboard. This is great. Yeah, I'd love to see a few more. We'll give it another 30 or so seconds. Please do hop over into Slido and let us know what you think. This is actually a really great opportunity for you to help shape the product. As we are preparing to roll this out to more and more of you here on Teachable, we are still playing around with some of the different ways that we're gonna share this, and we'd love to hear what you think. Ooh, connectables. Okay, getting some creative ideas here too. Keep those coming. My Stuff, My Learning Hub, Launchpad. Okay. Still seeing Student Dashboard as a heavy favorite, but that had, first to market on that one. Courses Dashboard. I see a couple folks are still typing here, so I'll give it another little bit and then we'll hop back in. Course Center. These are great. If anyone has a favorite, feel free to drop that in the chat back here in the comments over in the webinar, and let us know why. Let us know what you think. All right, thank you. That was very helpful. And we do, in fact, have one more question for you before we jump into our Q&A, and that is, do you want early access to this new student experience? We are just beginning to roll this out, and it might be a little while before some of you get it. However, if you do want early access, if you do want this to be part of your students' experience here on Teachable, this curated dynamic space where your students can jump back in to existing courses, to see what other products they've already purchased, to see completed courses that they've already gone through and explore additional products. If you would like access to that, please let us know. You can get access by filling out a very short Google form. You can access that form by going directly to this QR code or this link here on the screen. Great, and with that, we are now going to jump into our Q&A. Right, so now, if you have questions, if there's anything that you had a question about or that you wanted to see again or have any suggestions for us, again, please drop those directly in the comments and we'll start taking those in just a second. All right, I'm going to bring our guests, Paulina and Jonathan, back onto the stage here to answer some of these questions. All right, the first question we'll show here is, can you limit the Explore Additional Products tab, or will it automatically recommend courses that they are not enrolled in? Paulina or Jonathan, I want to take one of those?
Sure. Yeah, I can help answer that. So the Explore Additional Products section is always going to display as long as you have products that the student is not enrolled in. If it's something that you don't want your students to see, you could always do some custom coding so that section never displays. I will say we didn't get to show this during the webinar, but you will be able to control the sorting of that section. So if you wanted the next product to display, let's say, by like the custom sort that you have set in admin, you can go ahead and set that. We also have the ability to organize that section by name as well.
Great. Let's take a look at another question here. This one's from Anna. Are those one-click translations automatically added to all the schools?
Sure, I can take this one. So yeah, this is a feature we just rolled out. It's available to all schools, but the one aspect of it is that it does only apply to some of the newer pages that we've built on our platform. So that includes the new Browse Products experience we're showing today, that new student dashboard that we're rolling out and you can sign up to opt into, as well as our new product details pages, which are kind of the quick and easy streamlined sales pages that you can build on our platform now. So yeah, you already have that option on your school, but we do still have the custom text options for all of our more legacy pages where you can continue to translate that way for the older pages.
Great, thank you, Jonathan. I loved this question here from Ellie. I'll show this one. This is, what percentage of Teachable users use desktop as opposed to mobile? And I think, Paulina, you had some insight into that question.
Yeah, so I ran a really quick report for you. And so in the last 30 days, we're seeing that students are entering Teachable 55% via desktop, 42% via mobile, and then the remaining are using a tablet. So that's about 2.3%.
Of course, I suspect that can vary greatly depending on an individual school, depending on your particular audience, your students, your topic area. But that's a great sort of rundown across all of the schools on Teachable. I will use the opportunity, of course, to note as well that we do have a super highly rated iOS mobile app that is available to all of your students for free. We also are working on our Android app. So you will have both iOS and Android option for your students in the very near future. We'll be rolling that out this fall sometime. So you'll really have a true mobile first experience for your courses in the next few months. Let's see, another question here. Mia asked, I wonder if we might try this one. Mia asked, can you do a quick demo to show us how to customize the product catalog? So maybe some of the ordering, for example. Paulina or Jonathan, do you happen to have something open to showcase that?
Yeah, I could. If you want to move over to my screen.
Yeah, let me get that set up.
Awesome. So we're looking in the future to add a lot more customizations to the student dashboard. Some of what Dawn showed that's coming up in the future as far as like banners and links are going to offer more tools for you to customize it. Today, one of the things that you can do is customize the order that your products are shown. So in the navigation page, there's a section here called Product Catalog. And here you can choose the way that your products are sorted when students are logged out and also logged in. So by default, that's by in progress for logged in and alphabetical for logged out. We do have an option here called Custom Catalog Order. And what this does is essentially, I'll go ahead and set it. You'll see a little information banner here that this is going to show to your students as the recommended order. And it's going to set your custom courses order first, followed by other products alphabetically. So I go ahead and save that, and then I go to my courses index here on the left. It's only showing one product, which is, because I only have one course in this school. So not really the best way to demo it in this case, but you do have the option here, this button in the top right to reorder. And if I had multiple courses here, I could choose the order of them. And then that's the order they would shown if I selected that option. Something to note here as well is that there were some questions about the recommended products section. We show that based on the setting that I just showed. So that setting for logged out sort is the sort order we're going to show in that Explore More section. So that's kind of a way that you're able to prioritize things. So if there's a course or a course bundle that you really want people to see if they're not enrolled in it, that would show at the beginning of that Explore More product section. And then another small way that you can customize the experience a bit is through categories. So within a course, I'm going to click into my course here, and then I'm going to go to the information page here on the left, and this course settings tab here in the middle. So we have something called course categories. This is a way that you can create groups of courses for people to explore. So I sadly don't know Portuguese, so I'm going to do this in English, but maybe I'll have a travel section. So I've created a new category for that. I'm going to go ahead and save it. And the product that I'm in is added to that category. So then if I go to browse products at my school now, you'll see categories in this new travel category. And if I select it, then that course is inside that section. So those are two small ways that you can customize the experience. We'd love to hear kind of other things that you would like to customize about this, so we can explore how to give you those tools.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And I've actually got maybe a couple more here while your screen is still live. One is related to something you showcased a little earlier.
Sure.
Peter asked, can you show how to change the languages again, please? And what are the limitations there?
Yeah, definitely. So to choose the language, it's here in the Cite section and on this page called Language and Text. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And then the top thing you see here is that one-click language option. So you just select from this drop-down the language that you'd like your students to see, save it, and that'll apply, like I mentioned, to our newer pages. So this little banner here kind of tries to explain that a bit. We also have a Help Center article going more in depth, but that'll apply to our new product catalog, the product detail page, and lesson products, and then the new student dashboard that we just showed as well. And then if you wanted to translate for our legacy pages, we have the custom text option here. We can kind of go through and manually translate those words. Not a great experience. That's why we're moving towards this one-click option. but sadly that does still apply to some older pages for now.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And then one more, I think, for you before you run away too far. How do we know if our school uses the product catalog as the logged in homepage? Just jump back and show that one more time.
Yeah, so if you really kind of are anywhere in the product, but one of the easiest places is from the home page here. You see this view your school option in the top right. And that's where you can preview and see what version that you're on. Especially the browse products experience might not look too different unless you look really closely. I'm a designer, so I notice all the little details, but they're pretty similar in a lot of ways to the old version at first glance. But one way that you can tell is by the names in the navigation bar. So when this is in English, it'll say browse products, and that means you have the new version. If you're on the old version, it's going to say all products and my products.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And then here's a question from Laura. This could be for either of you. It says, Laura asks, will the student have a personalized product page for each Teachable school they are enrolled in?
So I can take this. So yes, the student will have a personalized product page for every school that they're enrolled in. I think one of the benefits to coming to Teachable is, and having a school here, is that you get a fairly like white labeled experience. So a lot of students don't even know that your school is hosted on Teachable. So they might be enrolled in like several courses by several different creators, and they have, you know, to them, they just know that they're being offered a course to take. They have no idea where it's hosted. And so because of that, they will be receiving their own personalized experience for each school they're in.
Yeah, thank you, Paulina. And that relates to a couple other questions. I'm looking through some of the comments here about, folks not wanting their courses mixed in with courses from other schools, for example. Again, the way to think about this is your school. That browse products page will only show products within your school. All right, let's see if there's some other questions we can pull up here. Give me just a minute to look through our list. Here's a question, another question from Laura. Laura asks, how does the product catalog differ from the course directory? Great question, Laura.
I was about to say, we actually prepared a slide for this, but we weren't sure if we needed to show it or not. So we were prepared for this question. If you want to show that slide, Don.
Let me see if I can pull that up. Give me just 1 second here. I dropped it into a different part of our presentation. Let's see. Is this the one you were talking about, Paulina?
Yes. Alrighty, so great question, Laura. So the course directory, it used to be composed of 2 different pages. So we had the all products page, which displayed all of your products segmented by product type. And then if your students wanted to view the products that they were enrolled in, they basically had to go to the My Products page, which is essentially a duplicate of the All Products page. So the My Products page was great if students only wanted to see what they were enrolled in, but we found that it was really, really difficult for students to find additional products to enroll in within your school. So for example, if you are a data science school, right, and your student has enrolled in Introduction to SQL, once they've graduated from that class, they're ready for maybe intermediate SQL, but it became like an impossible task for them to figure out where to find that. The other big change that we made, as you can see from these 2 pages, is that we unified all of the products, so they're no longer separated by product type. Most folks, they have their courses as their highest ticket items. And so when you have something like a $5 digital download displaying first, it tends to bury like those higher ticket items. So students never get to those courses, which a lot of our creators tend to want to push. Jonathan, is there anything else I missed?
No, that's pretty much it. There's also a lot of kind of things in the background on the technical side that we've done here. So for instance, like those one-click translations, those are possible because of the new version that we've built. So, we try to not change it too much and just make some usability improvements for your students. But there's a lot going on in the background that's going to make Teachable better and better as we continue to grow. And I also just want to speak, because this keeps kind of coming up in chat too, that only your products are ever going to show on your school. It is a totally white label product. We're not like other companies that maybe want to show other creators or other schools' products on those pages. This is your school and it's just your content. So yeah, don't worry about anyone else's content showing there.
Yeah, and just to add to that as well, I see a question from Vera here about adding ads from other schools on our school pages. We do not have the intention to do that. One can imagine a world where if you, with your banner, want to promote another school and in turn have them promote yours, that's something that you could set up, but that's not something that we Teachable are going to do. We are not a marketplace like a Coursera or a Udemy, where we're just listing a bunch of courses. As Jonathan said, this is your platform, this is your school, you set it up and you have that control. Those are great questions though. Definitely glad to have those and keep those coming. I had another question from Vera that I wanted to share as well. Will you ever introduce functionality to make a course a prerequisite for another course?
I can help answer this. So yes. So we're actually going to start working on the foundations of something like product curation or better groupings of products this year. So if you think of something like a learning path, right? It's like that example I gave earlier. You usually have an intro class, then you have an intermediate, then advanced, and maybe it keeps going from there. So first we want to tackle the foundations of how do we group these products together. Maybe it's a digital download first, then a course, then maybe coaching, and just starting to understand how you all do that types of grouping. And then the next step after that would be, how do we introduce things like prerequisites, right? So you can't take an advanced course unless you finish both the beginner and the intermediate courses.
Thank you. And for additional comments or questions or ideas on that, let us know. That's very helpful. Try to look for another couple questions that we can get to here. See a question here about how do you protect our video format content? I think screen recording is happening a lot to steal content. I know this is a very important question. Hear from a lot of you who are very concerned about protecting your IP, protecting your expertise. And the short answer is for students using Teachable's iOS mobile app, we do have some anti-piracy technology that does prevent screenshots, screen recording, things like that, because we know that that's very important to you. On desktop, it's a little bit harder. I do understand that there are some things that you can do, maybe with some custom coding to mitigate that. If any of my colleagues have any more detail on that, please jump in. But I know that that's something that a lot of folks face as well. Got a question here from Mina. Let's see, will there be a possibility to add different filters that a student can use to explore different courses that they can enroll in the future? If so, can the filters be multiple and work together, working concurrently?
Yes, it's definitely something that we're interested in continuing to expand in the new product catalog. If there's any specific filters you're interested in, definitely let us know. Already today, there's a bit of functionality around that, in that you can have those categories that we've mentioned and apply a filter such as sort or typing the name of the product, and those will work concurrently. So there's additional things that you're interested in, like product type, let us know.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. And thank you, Mina, for that question. Let's see if I can find a couple more before we wrap up here. Let's see. Here's a question. I see a couple questions about joint access. I don't know if this is something that Paulina or Jonathan, you have any insight into, but we'll throw it up here just while we're looking at it. Amy works with couples who want to access their course together, but it sounds like you're interested in differentiating them within a single account. So like they enroll, they buy the course, they buy the product together, but then you want them to be able to, or you maybe want to see how they're behaving with it differently.
Yeah, this is a great question. So currently with the current functionality, I don't think that we have this ability to differentiate two different people within one account. However, a little bit of a sneak peek, we are working on some B2B functionality that might be of interest to you for this use case. It would essentially allow somebody to create an organization. So in this case, could be like a couples account, right? And then within that organization, you could have two people enroll in that. So couple number one, couple number two. So that is something to be on the lookout for. But as of today, a user is just considered one person.
Yeah, that's a great call, Paulina. And I see Vera had a similar question around joint access. We often call it B2B or business to business because that's what we see a lot of you doing, trying to sell to businesses and sort of sell licenses and doing that accordingly. But really, it's about like bulk access and distribution of your content in different ways. So if you are interested in helping shape the future of that at Teachable, please let us know. We are just developing some of those functionalities right now, and there's definitely an opportunity to shape what that looks like. We know that there's a lot of different ways that you all are trying to solve some of those problems, and we'd love to be able to incorporate your particular questions, your particular use cases as we are developing that. I got a question here from Anne. Is it a big deal to change our Teachable school to seamlessly integrate with our own website? So I think this might get a little bit to what Jonathan was showing earlier. And short answer is no. It might depend a little bit, Anne, on what you mean by seamlessly integrate. But there's just a couple of things I would call out. One, as Jonathan was sharing earlier, if you have an external website, you can set a page from your external website as the home page. So when someone goes to your school, they land on this external homepage instead. We see a lot of people doing that for home pages, for sales pages, for all sorts of reasons. Another way that I might point out on a totally different track is folks who are looking to sell their Teachable products on their external websites or on their WordPress blog, for example. So last year we introduced a dedicated WordPress plugin. So if you use WordPress, for example, for a blog or a website, you can embed your Teachable course or bundle, for example, directly within that WordPress blog or website and have your audience buy that course directly from you there. We also have embeddable product cards. So on any external website, whether it's Squarespace, Wix, wherever, you can sell your Teachable courses there as well. And you can access that directly through your Teachable school. You can set up a product card, copy the code right into your external website and sell there. So I'm not sure if that exactly answered your question, Anne, but those are a couple ways that you can really connect Teachable as sort of this hub for your ecosystem of the different services that you use to engage your audience and your students.
The one more thing I'll add there too, in the same way you can set your home page as an external page, you can set your course's sales page as that external page too from the course overview. So you can choose what sales page you'd like to use, and that could be a specific page selling that course.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, let me see if I can get maybe one or two more questions here. Great. Let's see. Rena asks, can someone please drop the link to request this new version? And this will be a great question for us to end on. I will drop right here in the comments a link where you can request access, early access to this new student dashboard. I love some of those other names, Connectables, Launchpad, keep those coming. But again, thank you so much for joining us today, for participating in this webinar. It's always wonderful to hear from you, to hear your questions, your suggestions, and your ideas. Go ahead to that link, and if you're interested, we'd love to get this out to you as soon as we can. You'll have opportunities to provide feedback and let us know how we can continue to evolve and help you deliver a seamless learning journey. Thank you so much for joining, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye now.